Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Pastor Donovan Clark on the release of his new book. What's the name of the book again?
What the Bible Says About Oral Sex.
I'd rather you than me.
I'm surprised that I remembered so just off the bat.
Yeah, you did. I remember, but I just
Yeah.
wanted you to say it.
Okay.
This episode of the Student to Life podcast is sponsored by Vintage Florists and Events. For the Valentine's Day flowers, for your Mother's Day flowers, for your Christmas, your anniversary, whatever you need these flowers for, these teddy bears, whatever arrangements, you could hit up Vintage Florists and Events.
Yes.
The number to call to make orders, place orders, or for more info is 754-423-4673. Hello class, welcome back to the Student to Life podcast, where learning and unlearning has absolutely no limits. I am your host Stretch, along with my co-host
Shan.
and we're back again for another episode. So this week, it's just the two of us, and you're gonna see the two of us more often because we got a lot to say. Right? Well, we're gonna say it.
Yeah.
So today, we're gonna talk about a topic that a lot of people don't talk about enough when it comes to relationships. And one of those things is friendships, because a lot of times a good relationship starts with a great friendship, you know? And that's the root and the basis of every relationship, whether it's family, whether it's your love relationship, every relationship, even in business, always starts and stays grounded with a good friendship. So, Shan, what does friendship mean to you? What's your definition?
It's funny because I wanted to ask you that because you thought of this topic.
Right.
But my definition for friendship, and I actually have the actual definition here, but I'm going to say my definition.
You can read the definition first if you want, and
Okay.
then say what your interpretation of it is.
Let's do that. All right, so the definition of friendship is the emotions or conduct of friends, the state of being friends. And then it has, quote, old ties of love and friendship, unquote. A relationship between friends, here's a sentence, she formed close friendships with women.
Right.
So, but then I had to, so when they gave me this definition, I was like, all right, it's not giving me what I'm looking for it to give me.
Right.
So I went to research the definition of relationship, because a relationship can be a business relationship, a friendship, any type of
relationship.
Yeah. So the definition of relationship is the state of being related or interrelated. Studied the relationship between the variables. The relation connecting or binding participants in a relationship. So friendship is, for me, is a confidant, someone you can confide in, someone that has your back, that you feel safe around, you know, when it comes to talking about whatever, you know. I would say a friendship is a form of loyalty that you have to have to keep that connection, a level of respect. I think the respect level and the loyalty level kind of coincide. Yeah. And it takes time for it to build, because you can't just meet someone and just be like, yeah, that's my friend, you know? So it's time consuming to build up. I know a lot of friendships, when they first meet, they connect like just instantly. I think friendship also weighs heavy as well, because it might sound crazy, but I think you have to kind of go through some stuff with people to know that if they're your real friend or not, you know? So I think and just like, let me not say a relationship, but yeah, you have to, it has to be tested to some level, you know, to be like, all right, I can really call this person my friend for real, because we have a lot of acquaintances and, you know, just people that we go back and forth with, you know, on a regular level. So it's a wide variety of things, but the loyalty and the time I think that's what holds the glue together to really say this is a friend and going through some stuff. What about you?
For me, there's tiers. There's acquaintances, like you said. Those are still friendships. And then you have the regular friends that you might interact with more often than others. And then you have close friends, and you have the best friend, and you have the people that turn from best friends to family.
Right.
There's tiers, right? Then you have the acquaintances where you're like, we're cool, we say what's up, nothing too deep, we laugh about stuff, we keep it pushing. Acquaintances. You have your friends where it gets a little bit more close. We talk about more personal stuff, we interact more personally, you have my phone number, stuff like that. And you have close friends where you know my family, you know where I live, I could trust you. I trust you around my family to be in my space. I trust you with certain information. Then you have the best friend level where that's like your partner in crime. That's the person you tell everything. That's the person you do everything with. That's the person you feel safe with. And the person who has your back.
Right.
Then you have the people that turn family, who you're much closer to them than the people that you actually call family. Those are the people that if something happens, they have your back. Whatever you need, they got you. If I have $1 and you need 50 cents, I'm gonna give you that 50 cents because that's how friendship's supposed to go. But my real definition of real friendship is like I said, there's tiers. When it comes to close friends and up, that's a whole nother level. Because I personally take friendship serious. That's friendships is supposed to be people who are in your life for the right reasons.
Right.
Not for the wrong reasons, such as beneficial, like financial gain or whatever I could do for you. Like, people are not supposed to be in your life for materialistic type of reasons. You want people around you that you, like you said, feel safe with. People you can be open with. People who you can be yourself around. Because being yourself around people is very important. Because you can lose yourself by being around the wrong people.
Right.
Sometimes you're a certain way and you get around a certain level, certain type of people, and then you're a whole other person.
Right. That's true.
You get what I'm saying? You need people who motivate you, people who push you forward. You need people who are gonna motivate you. Tell you the truth also, because that's very important. Because a lot of times we have certain people around us that are yes men and yes women that'll agree with everything that you go to them with. So I feel like my definition of friendship is having that bond with somebody that you could trust, you could be yourself with, and somebody who's gonna have your back in every way possible.
And you said there was tiers. So tiers meaning like that word I was talking about earlier.
Compartmentalized.
Yeah, compartmentalized. Because growing up as an only child, friendship was something that was top tier to me. Growing up as a kid, because I didn't have siblings. So I would really hold on tight to my friendships, and even when I didn't know that, the art of what the hell is the word? Compartmentalize, guys, don't kill me. This word is a tongue twister for me. So I will I would want all my friends to be friends, or all my friends to be around each other, or whatever it may be.
Everybody to get along, basically.
Right, everybody to get along. And I didn't realize that it was okay to have friends outside of friends and spend time with them and know that this friend is for this reason, and I can't take this friend here because this friend, is not really good with that. And
I actually learned that lesson from Tony Robbins. I watched a video with him. He said, your gym friends, your party friends, your business friends, your work friends, or your work friends, and your friends, or there's different levels. You can't expect the person you play ball with every day to be, going and supporting you in doing other things.
Right.
That's your gym friend. That's your friend you play ball with. That's who when you're in that space, that's when you guys are close.
Yeah.
Then you have the friends that you go to business meetings with. Those are different friends.
Right.
Then you have the friends you hang out with.
The conversations are different.
All different.
Yeah.
So he said always know where those friends belong. Don't try to mix it too much, because a lot of times you expect a certain thing from this friend and they can't provide it.
Yeah.
So
That's
you have
true.
to be very, very, very careful with how you compartmentalize these friends, because you have friends you work with and you're very close with them at work.
Yeah, and they won't mess with your outside friends.
Exactly. I've had friends at work, and once we leave work, we don't communicate till we see each other the next day at work. You know, we have each other's phone number, but it's not no conversation outside of work.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Then you have the personal friends that they're just everyday.
Yeah.
You know, you have I have friends that won't go to the gym with me.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah,
Because they're
true.
not that type of person.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But I can't force that on them, because that's just not who they are.
Right.
I have friends that work out with me that would not go to a party with me, because
Right.
that's
not
not
who they are.
So you have to learn how to put people in those categories, like you
Yeah.
said, compartmentalize.
And it's safe to say, you know, because as you go on in life, you meet these different groups of people that fits these spaces. And a lot of people have the notion of like no new friends, when it's like, yeah, you can have new friends. You know,
course.
what do you think about like the no new friends?
Of course, it's always great to meet new people.
Yeah.
But when meeting new people, you have to learn that where are you gonna put this new person?
Right.
Because I could meet somebody today and we click better than a person I was friends with for 10 years.
Right. Like, so you mean like somebody at a gas station?
Right. So it's the same thing as dating.
Yeah.
When you meet somebody new and they want to be your friend, you got to look at red flags.
Yeah.
You got to learn to pick those out. So even in friendships, when you just meet somebody, there is a honeymoon stage in that friendship.
It is.
When you just meet them, you click right away. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, you know, this
Yeah.
feels good. It's the same thing in a relationship.
Yeah.
When you just meet somebody, you feel like nothing is wrong with them. They're perfect,
Yeah.
basically. No adversity has hit them yet to see if they would survive this friendship.
Right.
So you have to also be able to pick up on red flags when you just meet somebody. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. When I was growing up, I grew up in small community in Jamaica. I'm not gonna tell y'all where, because my OG told me, when you move to America, do not tell nobody where you're from in Jamaica, because when you leave and you decide you want to run away from somewhere, that's where we're going to. We're going home. So nobody will know where to find you when you go back home. That's what my OG told
That's
me.
a good tip.
So where I grew up in Jamaica in the hills, right? We're a community, right? I didn't know about, there's a lot of things I learned when I came here. I didn't know about, I didn't see women smoke like that. I barely saw women drink. I didn't see women cuss. Friends didn't betray friends like that. Like, if we did, everybody's gonna know about it, and you're gonna feel messed up, because now everybody know you're a messed up friend. So nobody wants to be that person. Like Jamaicans call it bad mind.
Right.
So you don't want to be that person, because everybody's gonna look at you like an outcast now, because we don't condone that. That's how we operated. So if you do something messed up, everybody's gonna hear about this one thing you messed up on, because you're a community.
Right.
If you do something here up top of the hill, everybody from the top of the hill all the way to the bottom of the hill
Yeah.
know exactly what you did.
Right.
That's how we grew up. So we grew up where you said, let's say for instance, you have a child, and your child is walking down the street causing problems. I am able to discipline that child, even though I'm not the child's father. You get what I'm saying? Because it's a community. That's how we were raised.
Yeah. It's like a village.
Basically a village type thing. When I moved here, was the first time I experienced heartbreak, first time I experienced betrayal, first time I saw like women act out of character. All that stuff I experienced when I moved here. It was a culture shock for me. So I never understood none of these things.
Yeah.
You know? It was crazy to me, because it was like, I always hear about these things in songs, you hear about these things on the radio, on the TV, but actually seeing it, people actually doing things without caring, like they would betray you without even batting the eye, and I'm like, I'm not used to that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I see friendships a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to that.
And did it make it hard for you to like gain new friends? Because for me, my mom used to call me a social butterfly.
No, I was. Now you got back to my point.
Yeah.
So I when I came here,
Yeah.
I made friends. I thought everybody was supposed to be all cool and loyal and everything, and then as the time progressed, it changed me a lot because I used to be that friend where I would literally sleep on the floor and let you sleep on my bed.
Yeah.
I was that friend. I'm not that friend anymore.
Yeah, the older you get, you become.
Yeah, I'm not that friend anymore. I was the friend who would give you the clothes off of my back and walk naked.
Right.
That's the type of friend I was. I'm not that friend anymore. I'm very like my little circle is very small.
Yeah, tight knit.
You get what I'm saying? Like we all like I've learned that people are always gonna make mistakes when it comes to friendships. All the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I learned that. But I learned that some people it's just in their DNA to not be real, to not be cool, to not be good at all. And they betray you without even second guessing it.
Right. That's
You
true.
know? So over time, that changed how I saw people overall.
Yeah.
If I meet you today, it's gonna be a while before I accept you as a friend.
Right.
You have to prove
You gotta
your
prove
loyalty.
it.
Right. So before it was like, oh, you're cool, and we feel the vibes, and you just come hang with them, we're good.
Yeah.
Now it's like, nah, you got a probation period with me.
Yeah.
You know, and all of them could tell you, yo, Reem will come to me and be like, yo, this dude is cool and whatever. I'm like, yep, I hear you.
Right. Right.
But you got some time. You got to prove that to me.
Yeah, like it's real deal. Like my friend is not your friend. Like, and it sounds harsh, but it's just reality. And I think more people have to understand that, and more people can get along with that. You know, because oftentimes everyone wants everyone to be cool, and yeah, we could be cool, but we don't have to be friends. You know
What
what
I've
I mean?
learned is, and I've learned this a couple of years ago. Somebody who is friends with everybody is loyal to nobody. That's what I learned.
Yeah.
So if I'm friends with you, and you're close with him, and him, I cannot tell you my business because then I'm gonna hear my business from somebody else.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like my little circle now. I'm able to say whatever the hell is on my mind without even worrying about them going to telling somebody else.
Right.
So I feel like you have to have people who are close and then people who are just acquaintances.
Right.
You can't be best friends with everybody. That's what I feel. Because you're gonna cross who are you loyal to?
True.
Who are you actually loyal to? If you're best friends with so many different people, who are you loyal to?
Like you could know a lot of people, you could be cool with a lot of people, but you have to have your actual little village of your people.
Yeah, and everybody needs friends. Let's put that out there. We're not gonna act
healthy.
like you can be all alone all the time. That's a sad life. That is a sad life.
Yeah.
Everybody needs
Have you ever?
friends.
So I'm thinking now, like, if I'm dealing with something and I actually know which friend to call to be like, I know this friend is great in this, and I could call them and confide in them with this, even if we're not talking every day. You know what I mean? Like, do you have those type of friends? Like, y'all don't talk every day, or y'all might not hang out all the time, but you know, in this scenario, this person is strong here, and I can actually call them.
I only confide in the close friends. I don't confide in people who I talk to here and there because, like I said, there are certain people that you don't know. People change over time.
That's true.
You don't know where that person is in their life now because there's people that I grew up with that's totally different. You know, there's some got better, some got worse. So I might be over here thinking I still can confide in you, and next thing you know, my business is everywhere.
Right. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I think maybe men and women we maybe weigh friendships differently. Or, let me not say weigh it differently, but it probably means different, things to each other.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't want no more female best friends.
Yeah, that's hard. I only have one and I cannot have any more. As far as a male, I only have one male best friend and I can't have any more because we coming from like teenage years. Now, for women, it's harder anyway to have a male best friend, but for men, you guys have more control over, like, you know what I mean? So
for me, it wasn't even about none of that. It was more like, how emotions control women sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like I've had 2 female best friends within my lifetime, right? And I always say, yeah, females are too messy for me, way too messy, and I can't deal with that. It's like if you want to be friends with a feminine female, it's gonna be way too messy for me, because I'm not gonna sit with you and talk about somebody else. Or another girl, like that's girl talk. I'm not gonna do that.
Right, and you shouldn't.
Right. And the second one, I don't know. It felt like everybody kept saying that girl is in love with you, and I'm like, bro, come on, that's my best friend. Like,
Yeah.
why,
You didn't see no flags?
I ignored it because it was like, ain't no way. Ain't no goddamn way.
Women do that though.
You know.
Like malicious intent. Is that what it's called? Malicious intent?
I would say that, yeah, it can be malicious intent, but then also it can be ulterior motive.
Like I would never, if I know I like somebody, I would never try to be his friend because it just doesn't work.
No, but it doesn't start out that way. It don't always start out that way. It could start out as, yo, we're just friends.
Because let me tell you from a woman's perspective, right? So a woman can have a crush on a guy and she doesn't know if he has a crush on her, so she will start to act like a friend, right? And if the guy doesn't budge to actually take it to the next level and try to actually talk to her, she's gonna still be like, okay, well at least we're friends and we're gonna run that out, but you probably never knew that.
No, it wasn't like that either. It was a case where things happen where ain't no way we could even do that. Where it was like, that's totally off, off the table. And then, so that's why I took my mind off of that.
Yeah.
Because I am able to be friends with women.
Yeah.
Me and you are cool.
Yeah.
I'm able to do that because I don't have to get with every woman that
Yeah.
I have a conversation with.
Yeah.
I've always been that way since high school,
Right.
all the time. Because I've always hang with women.
Yeah.
I would say more acquaintances when it comes to women than men.
Makes sense.
Because
you think your upbringing had something to do with that? You was surrounded by probably more women, so you were able to.
I was surrounded by more men because I have 4 brothers.
Oh, okay.
So that no. When it comes to friendship, right? The loyalty is something that's super important in maintaining any friendship, any form of relationship. Loyalty is very important. What's the levels of loyalty when it comes to friendship that you think people don't abide by those rules that come with loyalty?
So I love that question because I have death before dishonor tattooed on me, right? And I put that there because when I was younger, my cousin passed away, and the drama behind it was just a lot of dishonor, And my cousin was a real bitch. You know what I mean? Like she was a loyal person. And boy, just to see what happened, whatever. So I got that tattooed on me and I've stuck by that. And I think oftentimes people aren't real with themselves. I think that it starts within self first. And you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be real with yourself. You have to be real with God. You have to let God really just navigate your life. And I always tell people I confide in God before I confide in humans, And with that, my loyalty level has risen for me. I'm loyal to myself. So anybody that's in my circle, and I know that I'm a friend with them, it's business, it's whatever, I try to be loyal to them. But I will never compromise myself. So I think that the loyalty level gauges with each person, but at the same time, there has to be some loyalty within you, because if you're not true to you, you're going to lie to the next person, or you're going to say crazy stuff to the next person, or you're going to talk behind the next person's back, or whatever it may be. So, and I could gauge that with the people that I meet, and I look at that, and I would never shun them, but I would know that, okay, maybe this person is not for my space, So I just look at it like that. I know me, and I'm super loyal to myself, and I'm super loyal to God. I'm super loyal to the people that love me and really show up for me. So whoever I call a friend, I have to see those traits, and it shows real fast, real fast.
So loyalty is something that has layers. It has different compartments. So when it comes to friendships, right? Loyalty is something that's so important that if it breaks just a little bit, even unintentionally, it can destroy a friendship. So what I understood is that even when a person is not in the room, that's when you have to be most loyal to that person. You can be loyal as you want in front of me, but when I'm not in that room, you don't mention stuff that we talk about in confidence. You don't talk about things with other people that we talk about. You don't go behind a person's back to do things that you wouldn't do it in front of them. That's what loyalty is. The loyalty is if you call me saying, "Hey, Raj this and Raj," I'm like, "Yo, let me tell you something. That's my brother,
Right. Of
and
course.
I'll die about that."
Right.
That's loyalty. You don't. Whatever I'll do behind his back, I'll do right in front of his face. That's what loyalty is. Loyalty is if he got kids and anything happens to him, I got him. That's loyalty. Loyalty is he's in a relationship with his girl, and something happened to him. I'm gonna make sure she good too. Not try to get with his girl,
Right.
but make sure she good. And make sure his family's good. That's loyalty.
Yeah.
I think we see loyalty as something as simple as fighting for somebody or something like that. Sometimes loyalty is way deeper than that.
Yeah.
Loyalty is knowing that you could be there showing up for a person when they need you the most.
Right. And it's proven over time. It's not just something that's. It takes time to prove that, because for you to say that, he has proven loyalty to you.
Yeah.
So and that's why you can show it back to him.
And it's been put to when you've been put to the test. That's when your loyalty is tested. It's
Right.
proven.
And I'm that friend too quick to say, listen, my loyalty is to this person. So whatever it is that you're bringing to me, I need to make sure that I'm safe, okay, and that my loyalty is to this person, and that it doesn't mesh in between whatever. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't say that. A lot of people just sit and they just let conversation flow, and they just let things happen, and they don't show people who they are. You know what I mean?
But now we're gonna talk about losing friends, because you have it right here on top.
Yeah.
So I have lost a friend to death. You have it right here, and I wear him on my chain. I have 3 different chains with him on it that I wear. And I've lost a couple more after that. And what I realized is sometimes, like I said, they don't have to be close best friends type thing. Sometimes it's just as simple as somebody who you connect with. Somebody who's in your life that this person is just a cool person overall. And I realized that sometimes you just gotta check in with people. Right. Just randomly say, "Hey, you good?" And just a genuine check-in. Like, "Yo, what's going on? How's the family?" And just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what people are going through.
Do you think that losing a friend to death made you hold tighter to your, really hold
losing
tighter
a friend
to
to
your
death changed me completely. Like, completely. It makes me wanna, little things that I would go off for or be mad about don't bother me no more. Yeah. I mean, we're human beings. Of course, there's things that are gonna tick you off and bother you, but there's certain things that I just look past because of that. Certain experiences I appreciate more because I realize that my friend is not here with me to his passing saved a lot of people because I was at a point where it's like anybody could get it. And then after that, it was just like...
It humbled you a little bit.
Yeah, life is too short.
Yeah.
Type of thing, Because knowing that person should be here, doing what we're doing. Like, even losing my friend made me take more chances to do things.
Right.
To step out of my comfort zone, to go after the thing that I want in life.
It's like you kind of lived through him, or he lived through you now, something like that. Something like that when people do that after someone passes away, and it brings more of that level of confidence and that motivation to really take on life. they say it's either them living through you or you living through them.
I don't think
Something
it's
like
a
that.
living through situation. It's more like a wake up call that
Life is short.
any one of us could go at any minute.
Yeah.
Because especially when you lose somebody suddenly, and it's not something that they were sick for a long time, they just die from like an accident or something like that. You realize that anybody could go.
Yeah.
Anybody could die at any moment, and it could be you. So before you go, just be good to people.
That's
You
true.
know, go after whatever it is that you want to go after, like your dreams. Go after it. We all gonna go through hardships.
Yeah.
I've learned that too. Hardships are a part of life. We're gonna fail. We're gonna go through stuff. Keep pushing.
And I think it's when you go through things with your friends, yeah, there's stuff that's non-negotiable that won't fix it at all.
No.
But there's also ways to overcome a lot of the things the friendship that you go through with the friendship.
I know everybody needs a little motivation sometime in life. Whether you're in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, or even an adult going about your everyday life. Everybody needs a little information, a little education, and a little motivation. So you need that from somebody who's educated, somebody who's awesome, somebody with the information, and somebody who can give you everything you need. Shan, who's that person we're talking about?
Gimme the M.I.C with Faye Bailey. You can reach her on Instagram at FayeBailey80 or online at hitsinc.org. Okay? She has been traveling, speaking with many different audiences, and just pouring a lot of information and motivation on a lot of people. And she is also a scholar of Toastmasters, so she is in there and she knows everything, every detail to give you all the motivation that you need. So remember, you can reach her at FayeBailey80 or hitsinc.org for any event that you want to book her with. She will come through and she will light up the stage.
All right, so one thing I realize is in a lot of failed friendships, it's caused by people not knowing how to take accountability for their actions. And I recently, not recently, I would say a while now, like a couple of years, I've learned more to say, hey, you know what, you're probably right, instead of being defensive. So taking accountability, I feel like that will make a friendship last a little longer than it's supposed to sometimes. Because if you're able to say take responsibility for your part in something bad happening, like pointing blame sometimes is a bad thing. Sometimes you can say, hey, you know what, I was wrong for that. And you could say, I was probably wrong too for doing that. Because sometimes what I hate is seeing two people argue, you start telling each other secrets, you start saying things disrespectful. I feel like that person is not your real friend. If you're waiting until this moment to say the worst things to me, disrespectful things to me, we're not real friends.
Right.
That's number one.
Yeah.
I feel like with the amount of respect I have for my friends, I will never attack their character. I will never say things to piss them off even more. If we're talking about something, that's exactly what we're talking about. I'm not gonna call you no names or none of that. I feel like a lot of people, you don't know how to control yourself in the event that you get in an argument with your friend, and now they're this and they're this word and they're that word, and you're telling their secrets. That's why you ugly, and that's why you're this, and that's why you that. You're not a real friend for doing that.
Yeah.
If we're arguing about something dropped on the floor, that's what we're arguing about the whole time.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then if you're able to say, you know what, maybe I should have said that differently, or maybe I should have went about that differently, and then the other person can say, you know what, you're probably right about what you said, but I probably didn't see it that way. A lot of people are not able to do that because of their egos. When your ego's way up here, even when you're wrong, you're saying, I don't care what you say, I'm right.
Right.
Sometimes understanding that there's perspectives. You might see it that way. I might see it a whole nother way. That doesn't mean you're right and I'm wrong, or I'm wrong and you're right. That just means we just see it differently. And sometimes
you have to be okay with that.
Exactly, and sometimes it's even a fact that you didn't know a thing, because you might be saying, all right, L shoes is blue, and you're seeing it from that angle as blue, but I didn't know that his shoes had a reflector, so I'm seeing it from black over here, and you're seeing it from blue over here. You're not wrong, and I'm not wrong.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And being able to be like, I was wrong, or I didn't see it that way, that also preserves relationships, preserves friendships.
Yes, and I think that you can tell if someone takes accountability in, it doesn't even have to be an argument within or a disagreement within the two persons. You can see how they deal with other people. Or when they tell you stories, are they taking accountability in the stories that they're telling you and the things that they're talking about, you know? Because that's how I vet my friends too. Like, if you're gonna come and tell me something and there's an issue that's going on and you was a main part of this issue, you know, they say there's two sides to a story. You know, there's the truth, the right, what is it? The truth, the whatever the hell it is. It's three sides, but
Your side, my side,
and the truth,
yes.
right? So you have to look at those things as well. Like, do you even take accountability within your own shit in your own life? Because I know that now. I know if I see that, okay, if we have a disagreement, I know that okay, you're going to take some type of accountability.
I think the beautiful thing about my friendships is, even when I'm telling them a story, they're like, so what did you do?
Yeah.
That's the type of friends that I have.
Right.
The friends that are able to be like, all right, I hear you, but you didn't have to go about it that way.
Right.
You know, you're probably not wrong, but your approach was wrong.
Wrong, right.
You know, they also are able to check me in that situation. And I'm able to be like, damn, man, you're probably right.
Yeah.
You don't feel good to say you're right, but it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're not able to do that, to be like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
I'm wrong and you're right. Or I didn't see it that way. I understand.
Right. Right.
You know, if you're able to do that, your friendships will last a lot longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
being able to handle conflict, healthy.
Not even conflict. You're just being able to be corrected.
Correct. Yeah, that's it.
Because a lot of times we're so stuck in our ways, we're not able to drop our guards to say, I don't have to be egotistical. I could literally just say, damn, you're right, bro.
Yeah.
You know, because I've had that happen, especially with the close-knit friends that I have, to be like, you didn't have to do that. And I'm like, man, you're probably right, but I did it though.
Yeah.
You know? And they're not gonna say that in front of you.
Yeah.
They're gonna wait until we're in a private to be like, yo, I had your back, but I'm gonna tell you now that you was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, that's the type of friends that you need. Yeah. You know, you need the friends that's going, oh, you come to me talking about Brad? All right, oh, yo. Not the person to talk to about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was right for what he did, and you can go, you know, F yourself.
It's so funny you mention your brother now, because it goes into like the next one, like, what would you consider, you know, when do you consider a friend family?
Oh, yeah, that's easy. That's easy.
Does it have to be from childhood, or can you meet somebody in your adulthood and in your adult years and be like,
listen,
this is my family for real?
We just had the Art of Reggae Music Festival this weekend that just passed. And one of our friends we were cool with, he just randomly called us and was like, yo, y'all need help with anything? I was like, man, nah, because we can't afford it. It was like, nah, bro, I got you. You know, he came in, he did more than everybody that we're paying to do the job. That is how you know a person is down for you and not for other ulterior motives.
Right.
A person will come in your life, show you a level of loyalty. You know, they will come and they will pick up your kids and take them to get ice cream. They will buy your mom a Mother's Day gift or a birthday gift, or they will show up for every party. They will show up for every event. That's how you know a person now is, that's family right there.
Yeah.
You know, a person calls you to check on you if they don't have to. You know, a person who has your back in everything you do, that's family. Yeah. A person who, hey, listen, I can't afford to go here, and they're like, oh, come on, I got you, I'll pay the bill for you. Yeah. That's how you know a person is genuinely about you.
Right. That's true.
Then you consider them family.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
It's that, oh my gosh. So so much stuff that's went through my brain, because I've had those instances. So I'm gonna hit you with two sides of that, right? I've had those instances where I've known people from wherever, or however I met them, and they've showed up for me in ways where I was like, damn, like, that's some real little stuff that you're doing right now, you know? And I would still be a little skeptical, right? Like, I'm
always- I
still like,
always am.
oh, man, you're doing this for me, but I don't, you know what I mean? But it will be recurring, and in the test of time, I would see that this is a real, genuine person. And then, on the other hand, you have the people that will come in and do that. Okay, you ever heard of the phrase love bomb?
No.
All right, I just learned this word. I don't know if you guys know it, but love bombing is when you, okay, so say you meet a girl and she's just like trying to give you everything as soon as you meet her. And she's like so in love with you and she's just like, oh my God, and she's, let's do this, let's go here. And you just met this chick and she just wants to give you the world and she wants to be your wife already. And you're gonna be like, whoa, hold on. That's what love bombing is, right? Some people fall for it, some people catch on and be like, yeah, nah,
that's
nah,
me.
right? So friend bomb.
Yeah, you have that.
You have friend bomb friends.
I talk about it just now with the honeymoon stage with friendships. It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
but because you can have a honeymoon stage where everything is going good and then it still goes good. You know what I mean? But then friend bombers are the ones that's really out here trying to find friends and have ulterior motives.
Right.
You know, and that's what be making me a little bit skeptical.
And
'cause I'm
sometimes it's
like,
not even ulterior motives. Sometimes it's principles. It's principles that people were raised with.
right.
That they don't understand that. Yeah, it's cool to talk about things together and do like even something as simple as going out, right? You go out. Let's say, for instance, you get drunk. You know, you're falling over, you throwing up, and now you get mad and leave me.
Right, that's messed up.
You know what I'm
can't do
saying?
that. Even if you don't want to babysit them, you still got to do it.
You've never seen that side of me before.
Right.
But instead of making sure I'm good, you get mad and you out.
Right, that's effed up, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Fire for that.
friends got to be put to the test.
Yeah.
For you, my loyalty has to be put. Like I have to put you through shit.
Yeah.
For me to say you're my friend.
Sure.
We have to go through things together. You know, and sometimes it takes you making a mistake or doing something that you're not supposed to do to realize that that person is actually your friend. You know, and I feel like you should never say things or do things that you can't come back from.
You ever been in a sticky situation with two friends and you're just like, man, you know, this is sticky.
You know what I learned? Friend is not supposed to put you in certain situations.
What if it happens and it's not one of those situations where it could have been prevented though? It's like you have natural causes. It's like it was like a natural cause, and it's like whoa, because it's all with how you resolve it at the end of the day. People are put into those predicaments.
No, but a lot of times the person in the middle caused themselves to be in that predicament. You know, because
it goes back to accountability.
Yeah, you put yourself in that situation because it's if say for instance me and you are friends and me and Raj are friends, right? You and Raj have a dispute. First thing I'm gonna say is y'all deal with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I know. Yeah.
And because all of my friends, everybody in my circle are cool with each other.
Right.
You know, I don't need to tell you what he said or what he.
Right.
I don't need to do that because now you're in the middle.
Exactly.
You keep your damn mouth shut. Go on about your business. Let them figure it out.
Right.
If there's a case where you ask their opinion and you ask an opinion, I'm like, yo, you was wrong, bro. He was right about what he's saying. Like Roger do, you know, he's the type of guy to make everything cool.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, you're not wrong and you're not wrong. Y'all just seeing it differently.
Right.
He don't solve nothing, but he just, you know, try to take himself out of it.
You know, Raj, we should have you on this episode.
Yeah, he's the type of person that you'd be like, yo, I hear you.
Right.
I hear you.
Yeah, I've seen him in those before.
But that could have been dealt with differently.
Right.
And you probably could have, you know, see it differently.
Right.
It's not gonna say you're wrong or you're right. You now have to be the person to be like, all right, I hear what you're saying. But I feel like sometimes people don't know how to have healthy arguments.
Yeah.
Because a healthy argument, I'm not gonna go out of the bounds. I'm not gonna say things to get back at you, type of thing. Because I'm not gonna call you out your name. I'm not gonna attack your character. I'm not gonna attack your family or say something that I know for a fact. Because a lot of times people know what buttons to push.
True.
And if you know what button to push and you push that button, you're not a real friend. And that's what I believe.
That's true.
It's the same thing in any relationship.
Yeah.
Me and a girl is in a relationship. You know what button to push, and you constantly push that button. You don't mean me.
You don't mean, yeah.
I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
You know that talking about my feet hurts my feelings.
You keep
and you constantly do it. You don't mean me no good.
Yeah.
Because you're trying your best to see how you can, who can hurt who the most.
Right.
You know, and sometimes that changes you. You know, you're probably never the person to do that. Now I'm talking about your feet. Now you got to talk about my feet.
Right.
Now it's a shouting match between whose feet is ugly.
Yep.
But you never used to do that. That's why you got to be very careful of the people that you have in your circle.
So I just thought of something because we have here, you know, about dating your best friend. But before we talk about that, have you ever been in there was a post that I commented on a while back, and it was about, the girl said, you know, you guys will take your person back quicker than you can take your friend back, like your spouse or whoever you're in a relationship or whatever. And I was like, well, I think that's how it's supposed to be, you know, because as a woman, right? Maybe you might look at it differently. I'll ask your perspective.
Different.
Oh, it's not, okay. Well, yeah, so for me, I was like, I mean, when we date somebody, right? For the most part, once we take them serious and we're in a relationship, we're trying to see where life can really go, because this is now I'm trying to make this my forever, you know. So I already know that this is going to come with a lot of ups and downs and whatever, but this person is literally fulfilling every aspect of my life that a friendship cannot fulfill. So yes, I would take back my spouse quicker than a friend, because it sounds crazy, but you're just my friend. Like, I don't expect you to help me pay my bills. I don't expect you to confide in me at night on my pillow. I don't expect for you to, you know, I mean, certain things that's, you know, you can help me with, but that real intimate stuff that you cannot touch, that's where that relationship, your spouse hits, you know?
I agree, but I disagree.
Okay, let me know what you think.
I agree the fact that there's certain things that your spouse can provide that your friends can't.
Yes, I agree with that.
I disagree, because if you have the right set of friends, there's no relationship.
It shouldn't be a problem.
There's no relationship that could be more important than that friendship. None. I don't care what relationship. You could get married. That's why I always say, if you're in a relationship with somebody and they don't like your friends, it's never gonna work. It's never going to work.
So let's say you're married and you have kids and you're growing kids, right? And your spouse, this is your wife, this is the person that you've chose, right? And this is who you're doing life with. This is when the lights go off in the house, y'all hitting that motherfucker sweating. Sorry, excuse my language, but y'all really going through the dirt of life together. You're gonna argue that your friendship will still be more than that.
Yes, because like I said, your friend has to be a part of that. If your friend is, say for instance, you're in a relationship and you're married and you're growing kids.
And you're under the same roof with this person.
No. You're with your friend, no. With your husband, you're under the same roof.
Yeah.
But with your friend, your husband has to be able to be cool with your friend.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if say they get into like something.
That's what I'm saying. Hold on. So now, let's say they disagree about something. If your friend asks you to make a choice, that friend don't mean you're no good.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
Your like having real friends, they would not put you in that predicament. I just said it. They will not let you choose.
Right.
You know. So let's say for instance, I'm with a girl and you have a friend. Me and our friends are cool. Your friend does something that's shady and not good to me or to you. First thing I'm gonna tell you is I don't like that. You know, I'm gonna stay out of it because y'all friends. I don't want to get in the middle of that.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you straight up.
You're saying like if you have your woman has a friend and they get into something, you don't want nothing to do with it.
No, I cannot be a part of that.
Right, exactly.
But if it's to a point where the friend does something that's so detrimental, that's where I step in.
Okay.
That's different. But if it's just a disagreement, y'all handle that.
Right.
Be cool still.
Right.
You know, I don't want to, when friendships break up, a lot of times, I'm not going to tell you to stop talking to him because me and you don't talk no more.
Right.
Because me and him not talking about it, I'm not talking
Exactly.
not
That's
to
the,
talk to.
right. Exactly.
You know what I'm
People
saying?
do that though. That's crazy.
That's
it's
why
like
I
you
don't
was
like that.
fine when we were all friends. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So if you're in a marriage, raising kids and everything, of course your family's more important
Right.
than any friendship.
Right.
Of course. But that's where your foundation when it comes to real friends, you have to pick the right friends.
Yeah.
Because we're never gonna do anything that's gonna destroy this bond that we've created.
Yeah.
You know? I think a lot of people, you're married now and then you do something that's so bad. Like say for instance, me and Raj are friends and Raj try to talk to my wife and try to sleep with my wife. Now there's no coming back from that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's you picking the right people to know that my friends will never do
that.
something like that.
Right.
So it's hard for me to say choose between the both because if you can't be cool with my friends, we can't work. If I can't be cool with your friends, it can never work.
That's true.
Cannot.
That's true. There was this quick story. There was a story on the radio station. I love listening to the radio station in the mornings. But they had this scenario where the group of friends made a trip, right? They're going on a vacation. And, they have to pay a certain amount of money. So say each person has to pay $1,000. And the girl I guess one of the girls out of the group met a guy 2 weeks before the trip and didn't pay her money or something like that. And she told him that she doesn't want to go on the trip anymore and that she wants to stay with the guy. What would your opinion be like in that? Like how would you handle that situation? Like one of your boys is like, man, I just met this chick and they're just so hypnotized by her.
First of all, I hate when people change plans. Don't do that because my time is very, very valuable. If we plan to go somewhere, we plan to do something, don't back out on it.
Yeah.
I hate that.
So
That's
yeah.
Number one. Number two, you know what I like when I meet a woman? A woman is able to be like, no, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because that's a messed up thing to do. You just met somebody. I know you for 10 years. You just met somebody last week.
Right.
And now you can't say no. Me
right.
to go what her?
Y'all didn't even go nowhere.
Exactly. We got a problem.
Yeah.
That's a big, big issue.
Some people were like, they're not gonna talk to her again. Some people was like, man, as long as she just pay her part, I guess she doesn't pay it anymore.
See, the money ain't even the issue.
That's like loyalty, like
the loyalty for real.
Yeah.
You just met somebody. Come on. Man.
Yeah, that's messed up. I wouldn't
don't do that to your friends, bro.
That's crazy.
And I would never let a woman do that. I
Right.
would never let a woman just be like, I'm not going with them, I'm gonna stay with you. Type of thing. No, go enjoy yourself.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. Yeah. The guy was messed up for even letting her.
Right. I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna be right here when you come back.
Right.
Go enjoy yourself. With your friends. And now your friends gonna hate me to tell you to stay with me.
Right.
What kind of thing is that? I hate that. I don't like that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Crazy scenario.
Don't do that.
It shouldn't even been a problem.
So let me ask you this, right? This was a big topic on social media for a long time. If you go out with all your friends, who pays the bill? How does the bill work? How do you split the bill? How do you go about that? Because, man.
Okay, so this is what a lot of friends don't do, is ask before you even start to eat, right? Ask before you start to eat. Are we just gonna split it separate or are we gonna calculate what everyone had? Some friends wanna split it separate. Just split it down the middle or whatever. And some friends are like, I just wanna pay for my stuff. Which is fine.
No, it's not.
No, let me tell you, everyone's budget is different.
I know that.
And typically, okay, let's say this is a brunch, right? I think when it's like birthdays and brunch, friends want to show up for you because it's your birthday, but they can only afford their meal. You know what I mean? So you can't get upset with them as long as they showed up. But then if you're saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to this brunch where you don't really have to show up, and you're having a problem with the bill, with splitting the bill down the middle or whatever, you really shouldn't even came out because whatever we're all getting, we're all sharing it.
See, I'm different. Like, if I don't have it, I'm gonna be like, bro, I don't have it, bro.
If you go out?
If I'm doing anything. If they call me and be like, yo, we're going to brunch, I'm like, bro, I don't have no money like that. Your friend is supposed to be able to be like, bro, I got you.
Oh, you're saying like before you even get there?
Doesn't even matter. Because you might have a birthday dinner, right? You invite me. And I look at this menu, and this shit is expensive.
Right.
You're going to Roof Chris. I cannot afford that.
I would want you to say that before, though.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what a lot of people don't do. I'm gonna tell you before. You know what I'm saying? Like with my friends, I remember we went to when Kalu's back in the day. Kalu's was open, and we went out to just have some food, and we cooling and we chilling. Had some friends come in town, and we had the. I was there, and I was like, "Yo, bro, I'm low on cash." Right, and the bill comes. I'm like, "Yo, I got you." Everybody else put together and paid, and we were good.
So I won't never say I'm low on cash when I'm there. I'd rather tell you I'm low on cash before I go. And then if you want to say, hey, I got you, or if a friend says to me before they don't, oh my God, I traveled with someone and she had no money when we traveled. And I was like, in my head, I had to, me and my girls had to help her out, but in my head I was like, why would you even come on the trip? Why would you even at least warn us? You know what I mean? Like, we had to take care of the whole
That's what I'm saying. You let them know before.
Right. Let me know before, but don't show up to the restaurant and then eat and have a good time. And then be like, I ain't got it,
but it's the thing.
Crazy.
A lot of people are not going to say they don't have it. They argue. But you know what I hate? If we go out to a restaurant, please don't look at the receipt and pinpoint out and start arguing with people about the bill. Don't do that.
That's pay the shit.
Do not do that.
Just pay it.
I don't care. Like, just don't.
Yeah.
We've been to birthday dinners with 20 of us or 15 of us, and the bill come up to like $3,000, and we're like, yo, the woman ain't got to pay tonight. We got it.
Right.
Type of thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't look. I hate when people look at the bill and be like, hey, I didn't pay for this. Why is this in the bill? Do not do that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Don't do that.
That's crazy.
That's proving that you don't have the money to pay for it.
Right.
And if you don't, just say it.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, I can only afford what I took.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't cause a scene.
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, and it's friends, and they get in real arguments, and they have disputes, and like friendships really break apart because.
Like a lot of times we go out, and I would just order the cheapest thing on the menu.
Yeah.
And my other friend would order lobster, and somebody else would order salmon.
Yeah.
And bill comes and be like, yo, the bill is $1,000. Split it 4 ways.
Yeah.
This is what it costs, and then we all just. Yeah, the bill.
Does that mean that maybe we shouldn't really have friends that don't have money?
No, if you don't have it, say it. That's all.
No broke friends? I'm just kidding.
No, we're not doing that because.
No, that's kidding. I'm just being petty, guys.
But
yeah.
People actually think like that.
Yeah.
People actually think, like back in the day when I was growing up in Jamaica, for instance, right? My friend is at a restaurant. He called me and be like, yo, I'm at a restaurant. You want something to eat? I'm like, yo, man, I don't have money in the bro. I don't have it to pay you right now for the food. Be like, yo, bro, I got you.
Right. I'd rather that, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
I've done that a lot. I'm like, don't worry about it. It's on me.
Sometimes when you have close friends, you know their situation. You know that right now, they don't have it like that.
Yeah.
What I hate, you don't have it right now, next year.
And then the next year.
The year after.
That's what I mean.
And you're not doing anything.
You never have it.
No,
Why you never have it?
But you're not doing anything to pull yourself out of it.
Yeah.
If you're trying for years and I see you trying, I don't care.
Yeah.
If I got the money, we all eat. But if I see you sitting in the same spot, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, and you're still doing the same things you were doing the whole time, and you're not progressing, then that's where the problem lies.
Yeah. That's true.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
But as far as bill is concerned, we don't care.
Yeah.
If you're splitting the bill, if the bill comes and you eat lobster tails.
Now, if I see you getting lobster and steak, and then another entree, and then 6 drinks.
You ain't gonna eat all that.
And all that stuff. But some people be trying to OD when they go out.
But we don't care.
I'm gonna be like, okay.
But that's the thing. You gotta know your friends.
They do. I've never had those issues.
You gotta know your friends.
Other than the one that didn't pay, that didn't went on vacation and she didn't pay anything.
Yeah, you just gotta know your friends. What I hate is when people are broke and you cause arguments.
Hey everyone, if you are here in South Florida, please check out Skyless Hair Studio. That's SKYLYST, where we specialize in hair care, locks, colors, cuts,
You can
all
do
that
mine
good
too?
stuff. Yes, we definitely do men's hair as well. Okay, so we are here in Tamarack, Florida. Check us out, and we'll take care of all your hair needs.
So where can they find you?
You can find us at CEO Your Life _ Skyless Hair Studio on Instagram, or online at skylesshairstudio.com.
Hey.
All right. Man, I went to a wedding. I did a wedding in Jamaica real quick, right? And I guess, I don't know, I just know my client, right? And I guess there was a friend out of the bridesmaids group, that didn't want to chip into nothing. Now it wasn't that she didn't have no money, but she kept acting like, I don't know the money, and she just kept like using it as like an excuse to not pay. Mm-hmm. Man, one of the girls went off on her in Jamaica. She just passed out. She literally passed out, boom, on the floor. It was too much on her, but it was like, you can't travel with a group of people and not be prepared to spend money. Like,
yeah, but you can, but if you let them know in advance.
Unless you let them know in advance.
Yeah,
like, come on.
I've traveled with friends, like literally a friend of mine, they were planning a trip, and I was like, bro, I ain't got no bread. He was like, yo, let's pay for your flight. We'll pay for everything.
You'll pay for everything else. Yeah, just say what the problem is. Don't just hush. You don't know people's pocket. You don't really know your friend's pocket. Maybe they can't fend for you.
Yeah.
You know, say something.
I think that's what a lot of people are scared to do, is be transparent in friendships.
Yeah.
Because I'm so afraid of you taking it and weaponizing it.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you something in confidence. Now you're telling he, she, and the whole lady about what I told you in confidence. Mm-hmm. I don't like that.
Right.
A lot of times my friends tell me things, I don't remember they told me that until we talk about it again. Mm-hmm. I'm not bringing up your business to anybody else. Mm-hmm. You know, there's my little team. We call our little team the conglomerate, because outside of that, nothing gets out of this little bubble.
Yeah.
This is an iron bubble. Mm-hmm. So when anything gets out, we know it's one of us in this circle that did that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you do it intentionally or not, it happened. Mm-hmm. You cannot, like, certain things you just can't mention outside of the team. You can't, if I say, all right, my friend has AIDS, and in the circle, and you're like, damn, you know what? You're talking to somebody and they come up and they're like, man, you know, a friend of mine has AIDS and blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't bring that up. You don't mention stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, you keep it G. Whatever we talk about stays here.
Right.
That's what it is.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you don't talk about your friends' businesses at all. Financial business, personal business, relationship business, anything. Because you have friends that you tell everything.
Right.
You know, so you got to be very careful when you mention shit to people. Like, you don't know who knows who and what. Because what I've realized is, you might think this person is your close friend, but not know that close friend that you have is messing with somebody that you know.
Right.
So you're telling them about what this person is doing, not knowing that they're involved in everything that's going on over here. You're supposed to be confiding in them, but they're a part of everything that's happening over here.
Yeah. Man, there's so much strings and ties and
Right.
to those things, man.
So you got, for me, it's like, if I'm in my circle and anything happens, anything that happened in that circle stays in that circle. We know the things that we can't talk about with other people, because other people don't mean you no good.
Right.
As simple as that.
That makes sense.
Now, this other one, I was watching this new show today called Ghost on Paramount Plus. It's called Ghost. And one of the ghosts could communicate with, it's like 7 ghosts in the house. And the girl hit her head, and now they could communicate with the girl that's in the house. So one of the ghosts, he died like 100 years before. No, he died like 50 years before. And his wife, after he died, his wife got married to his best friend. All right? And hold on. So that's why the question popped in my head about would you date your friend's ex? Because sometimes you don't have to be. It don't have to be a case where y'all broke up and then down the road, you and the ex meet and y'all get together. Sometimes it's like you pass away.
Yeah.
And now y'all together.
Why would I've never transitioned over to the other side, so. I never had someone. I think I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. I think the reason why when it's like that, I think because with death comes grief. So, in the grieving stage, the best friend is grieving, the wife is grieving over the same person that they were both really close to.
So basically, they have something common.
They have something in common, and
but
you know, like
it don't have to even be that.
I think that's what ends up happening without them really realizing that it was going to happen.
I think.
Or you think like he's like, man, you was been checking for my chick before I died.
A lot of times we're scared to admit that. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's natural.
It's natural, but sometimes we're scared to admit the fact that you always had eyes for.
I mean, okay, but look at it like this. I have friends that date hot guys. You know, I'm like, girl, that's a good one you chose, right? And you have friends that you like, yeah, dog, you know.
Not really.
You won't look at it that way, but you would be like, okay, if your friend didn't bring home a mumpy,
but
you're gonna be like, yo,
it depends.
This mumpy, you know what I mean?
It depends on the level of friendship.
True.
Because if we're not that close and y'all broke up and me and her connect,
right?
That's different. If we close though, you're off it.
It's hard. For me too as well. But I'm just trying to talk for the masses. I'm trying to see how the masses think because for me, it's off. I don't even do that shit when I'm alive. So
what I think is a lot of times people don't know how to restrain themselves from doing certain things because I could have my best friend and you broke up with your girl, and let's say you go to jail. Me and your girl have good conversations. We click.
You still alive.
I have the restraint to say no.
Right.
You're off limits.
Right.
A lot of people don't have that boundary.
Yeah.
Because once they get that feeling of it's possible that this could actually work.
Yeah.
You know.
It's never a scenario I've been in, but I'm just trying to figure out, talking to other people that maybe have been in that situation. Like, grief is such a heavy thing.
It's not, what I'm saying is not even just that situation. It's just overall, would you date your friend's ex, basically?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. That's like girl code. Like, you can't, no. And I've had friends that's done that.
Right.
And I'm still friends with the person.
It has happened. And I don't think it's totally wrong in every situation. Yeah. Some situations it's just very wrong.
Yeah, I think that's like the rule book, man. Like, don't date your people's ex. Like, that to me is off limits. And I've seen people date their friend's ex and got married. I have a client that dated her friend's ex, and she's been married to him and has 3 kids now for 20 plus years.
But you gotta be happy for that sometimes, though.
Yeah, you do. And then a lot of times it's like teenager years where everything's all mixed up.
Because for me, I'm not. The only way I'm super mad about that is if I confide in you and you know that I still care about her.
Yeah, that's messed up.
It's different when I say, I still love her, I still care about her, but then you smash it behind my back.
That's effed
That
up.
is different.
That's like,
but if we, let's say for instance, we broke up 10 years ago or 5 years ago, and then you guys, formed a bond, and now you're
Are you okay
together,
with that?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
As long as y'all both tell me what's going on. Right. Not both, but my close friend tells me that, bro, I ain't gonna lie, we linked up, this happened. Like, tell me.
Yeah.
So I let me figure out how to deal with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because if you're happy, that's what I care about.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna be malicious and say, no, you're not a real friend for that. If you're happy with it, bro, go ahead.
Yeah.
But if we break up last year and you doing that this year, no, that's different.
Yeah.
That's recent.
Yeah, that's true. It goes back to just being a real person overall, though. In everything, like, just be real about whatever it is, and let me decide how I want to deal with this situation. A lot of people don't even do that.
Let me react, but don't just do it behind my back. You're doing it behind my back, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
If you're not telling me.
Exactly.
Exactly. Next thing, friendship with opposite sex. Now,
I'm not gonna air my business out on this podcast, but I have a serious story of that. So I believe it can happen, but there's levels to it because I have a best friend that's a guy, and he's the godfather of my daughter. And this is now 11, 12 years that he's been the godfather. Well, he's been a best friend. My daughter's 6, so, you know. But how it happened, we're not going to talk about how it happened, but we knew that in the beginning, I'll say this. In the beginning, we were like, maybe we can probably try to talk to each other like that. But
so it didn't start out as just a friendship?
It didn't start out as a friendship,
Okay, cool.
right? I'm just going to put that out there and be real with that part. It didn't start out as a friendship, but shortly after, we realized that this is not working. We
Both of y'all
laugh and
realized
we
that?
giggle. Both of us realized it because
Okay.
no one ever crossed any path, any boundaries. And it wasn't like we were like, oh yeah, no, we can't be friends. We can't be in this relationship and then now let's be friends. It was we can't be in a relationship. Months later, now we're cool off of something else that happened, and then it just extended from there. There was a little break in between, right? But we already knew that the whole romantic relationship, all that's not there at all.
So let me ask you this. What made it off limits? What made it like this could never happen type of thing?
It was just, we naturally it was a few things, you know, just trying to be lovey-dovey and be cracking jokes and shit. It was just like, nothing was clicking, you know what I mean?
So, would that ever be a possibility? Like
Hell, to date him again? Blech. No, I throw up every time. And it's so funny because you know who I'm talking to. He has a girlfriend right now. I would say this, and she hates me.
that was gonna be my next
This
question.
is the first one that he's had that hates me, and I've been through some people,
Right.
you know. And he held it 10 toes down, and you know he was cool with everybody, you know. But this is even him, he had girlfriends that I was cool with, but this one, she did her dirt. And she found out some stuff from way, way, way back, and she hates me now. So it's like, and I'm like, girl, you know, it's not that serious. You know, like this is my brother. Like he's the godfather of my daughter. This will never be a thing. There's nothing there. Like literally, like I want to throw up just even think about him with his shirt off. Like it makes me just like I quease a little bit. You know what I mean? So, but she doesn't understand that. It's really not my job to prove that to her. He has to prove that to her.
You don't have to prove to anyone.
Well, he doesn't have to, but if he doesn't want, well, we figured out the way that we're supposed to figure it out.
Right.
But it's sticky. But my grown years now, let me say this, my grown years now is very hard unless I start off with business or, unless we like start off with business, then I can like, me and you, we're friends, you know? I can say, you're my friend, I have a level of loyalty to you because we start off with business. But then, you know, we had other situations. Yeah. But it was business, you know? So I can't meet a guy that likes me right now and I'm like, let's just be friends and we could be friends. Like, it can't work. It can't work. I'm sorry.
Yes, I think there's levels to this because, like I said, I had 2 female best friends. Didn't work because the people that know me outside of being a DJ, being a businessman, being the side of me that is just so genuine and cool and, you know, open and loving, that side of me, not everybody is able to see that side of me. I feel like when someone hangs around me and sees that and you're close to me and I confide in you about stuff, I feel like those 2 best friends that I had at the time, they saw that side of me. And I felt like that kind of shifted from never happening to possibility without me even knowing. But the first one, I would say, it was a case where it was a messy type of thing. Where it's like he says, she say, you do, and you feel away and not come to me and talk to me about it. And then you go to other people talking to them about me. Once you do that, we done.
Right.
If me and you have a problem, you can be able to come to me and talk to me about it. Everybody knows me. I have this side of me that's aggressive. But once you have a problem and you come to me to talk to me, you can always talk to me. I'd rather that than you go tell somebody else and start acting different. You're not my friend if you start acting different because you hear something or you see something. You know, you're not my real friend.
Right.
If you get up and start acting different because you hear that I did something or you peeped something that you thought
Right.
and not come to me and say, yo, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
You're not my real friend. But you're gonna tell somebody else and you start acting different.
Right.
That's not cool. So the second one was more like I was confiding in person, you know, telling them certain things and, you know, treating them a certain way, and it's like I feel like they latched onto that and be like, from not happening to a possibility. I didn't know that. I feel like everybody else was seeing that. And I
You wouldn't
wasn't.
see it.
Because to me, like you said,
Yeah.
ain't no way.
Right.
I'm thinking about it and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think for them it went from ooh, no to maybe to possibility.
Right.
And I'm in my
And
head.
you
I'm
didn't
still,
even know that that's what's happening.
No, and in my head I'm like, still no. You know? So I feel like it's a hard thing to do, especially when you're in a relationship, because it kind of destroyed my relationship at the time.
Oh, the relation that you was in is okay.
Yes, it kind of destroyed my relationship because
Ooh, yeah.
yeah, it kind of did because she picked up on that.
Yeah.
Because when I made the introduction, it was just like, hi type of thing. And,
Yeah.
and then I was like, but you're not like that with other people. Why are you doing that?
Right.
And I'm still in the zone of, oh no, she don't mean it like that. Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro. That's my dog. Like,
Yeah.
yo, that's my dog. Like,
Right.
she ain't gonna do you like that.
Right.
And it happened again, and I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, I was wrong the whole time. But that made me realize that in a relationship and having a best friend of the other sex, if they're not cool, you can forget about
You
it.
can forget about it, man.
You can completely forget about that. And if you had something going on with that person before and it got physical and everything,
Yeah.
that complicates things even more. Because now they're looking at that person as an ex,
Yeah.
you know?
Do you think that it should be told though? So like,
Yes.
okay.
Transparency is always the best policy. Like, hey, listen, we're best friends now, but we used to go at it like animals, like type of thing. Like, let me know. So every time I look at that nigga, I'm like, you used to have her and you seen her naked and everything. I'm like, bro, no, you know, type of thing.
All right.
Or I'd be able to say, yo, that's the past.
Yeah.
You know, you're mine now.
Yeah.
That's done with.
Yeah.
But when some people take it too far, that's where the problem lies. Now you want to spend the night. Now you want to hang out. Now you want to go do certain things. Now we have a problem.
Yeah. And you know, one thing with women, I could say women, as far as, we could pick up on those things. Like, you can smell it, you know, like, ooh, she feeling you a whole nother type of way. And it like your situation, it took for time to pass and you'd be like, damn, I didn't even really notice.
Sometimes that's what it is, especially when
Yeah.
you're young. You're looking from outside in now, and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. And that's okay. Sometimes that's okay, you know?
Does that fall into like the betrayal? Well,
That's the next thing I was getting to. Have you ever been betrayed? And I've been betrayed a few times.
man, I've been betrayed and I done took mother effers back.
But let me tell you something. A friend of mine, I was confiding in him the other day about everything that was happening. And you know what he said to me? He said something that hit me deep. And I was like, bro, I didn't even look at it like that. He was like, sometimes when people betray you and you find out, still keep them close because now you know who your enemies is in your corner without them even knowing. He told me, he was like, that dude did me bad, like real bad. And he just walked around and pretended like nothing. He started moving different, not telling you no secrets, what I'm up to or nothing, but you're still not too far because I still keep an eye on you. If you become an enemy, now I don't know what you're up to, what you're plotting. But if you're still close, I know who you are.
Oh, that's such a sticky situation.
No, it's not. I'm gonna tell you why. Because with your enemy, you don't know what they're up to. when you have somebody in your corner that's doing shady shit, you keep your distance now, but now you know what they're up to.
But would you still call them a friend?
Not.
They're just, because the phrase goes, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
No, I don't like that phrase either.
Okay, so scratch that then. If that happens, if someone betrays you and you still keep them close, is that you giving yourself a dishonor?
No, they're not going to be as close as they used to be.
But if it's true...
Because if I share something with you and you share it with somebody else, then now I'm just not going to share certain things with you. But you're still close, though. I can keep an eye on you, knowing that you're not on my side.
But then it's the levels, right? It's the levels of what the betrayal... Because betrayal is a harsh word.
Of course, it depends on the level. Because if it's life threatening now, it's different.
I can't keep you close to me.
That's
like,
different.
get away. Like,
That's
I don't
totally
want to
different.
see you. I don't want to hear you. I don't want nothing to do with you.
Right.
Get out my aura.
That's totally different.
Okay, because that's what I was thinking about.
Of course
Like
there's levels to
I was
that.
thinking about the extreme. Like,
Nah, not there. We're
ain't
not
gonna
talking
keep-
about the extreme. I'm talking about
Okay.
something as simple as, like you said, I confide in you and you.
Okay.
Or you going to talk about me to somebody else.
Okay.
Or you trying to do something behind my back that's disloyal.
What if they take accountability and it was a genuine mistake? Do they still fall in like a bit of the enemy circle?
It depends on what it is. Because sometimes you take accountability for one, but there's 10 more that you did.
Yeah.
You know? You didn't get caught with the other 10. But you did one and you got caught with one and you took accountability for that one. You still continue to do the same thing with the other 10.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Without taking responsibility for any of it. So I'm still gonna hold you off to a certain extent.
Right.
You're gonna always be on this little table, and I'm gonna have a little shield right here. You're still cool, but you're not gonna get the same access.
Makes sense.
That's all.
Makes sense.
So sometimes he said to me, was like, "Yo,
I've decompartmentalized.
right, just leave it alone."
I've compartmentalized.
Leave that word alone. Leave
That's
that word alone.
compartmentalizing your friends. Because now I can't trust you with this, but I'm still cool with you. So I'm gonna put you here
Listen,
in this compartment.
you're not a friend. I'm just not making you no wiser.
Oh yeah, that too.
Because now you're gonna go on the gram and be like, "Yo, why you ain't invite me to the dinner?" I'm like, "Not your time, fam. Like, another time."
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You're gonna see us going on trips, so why you ain't invite me?
Yeah.
Not your time, fam. She's
Makes
still
sense.
cool though.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
So when he told me that, I was like, because when the person did the thing, I was gonna flip, but it was like, "Yo, calm,
Yeah.
take a step back, realize that now you know who this person
person
did.
is,
They
yeah.
showed you who they are without even telling you.
Right.
So let them think that they're still doing what they do.
Right.
Let them continue doing their thing.
Makes sense.
You just continue existing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Continue doing what you do.
Right.
Let them think that nothing has changed.
Right.
And that to me is super important because I was the type of person, first of all, I'm confrontational. I'm straightforward. I'm honest. I try to be all these three things. And sometimes when people are not honest and loyal to me, it gets to me deeply because it's like, bro, I'm loyal and honest with you. Like, why would you turn around and do that to me?
Right.
I try to be the best person to you. Why would you turn around and do something that'll hurt me or betray me or something that's not loyal to me? Why would you do that knowing that I would never do that to you? So it gets me mad. And what he said to me was, bro, don't get mad, brother.
Yeah.
I said, that's how he talks.
Yeah.
Don't get mad, brother. just take a step back and that's easy.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I calmed down right away.
Michelle Obama says, when they go low, you go high.
No, when they go low, I go lower.
Me now I go lower.
Cause guess what?
I ain't doing it.
Cause guess what? Sometimes you
Get
gotta let
somebody
people
else to
know.
do it.
You gotta let people know sometimes. But he just told me like, yo, you're not going high or low. You're just taking a step back.
You getting even?
No, you're taking a step back.
Oh.
You're stepping out of the
Stepping back and you
midst.
watching, peeking.
Yeah, you're stepping out of the midst. So, but you know, listen, that's your insider.
Yeah.
That's your little enemy that's gonna bring everything back to tell you.
Oh yeah?
He don't know he doing the enemy work for you. Because he probably hanging with the enemy and coming to tell you all the enemy's tricks. He don't know that. That's what he's there for.
That's what she's there for. Makes
Nothing
sense.
else.
That's why you just got to be true to yourself at the end of the day. True to yourself so that you can be true to others. And then when shit hits the fan, you can still be true.
The final question. Do you ever take fault in a failed friendship? Have you ever had betrayal? And what was that time? Give me a little story.
I'm real deal. Like I'm a little bit of a simp when it comes to friendships.
For both
sometimes.
though. I want to know if somebody has betrayed you, if you had betrayed somebody, and how you went about it. Like with a little story or something.
So I've had friends do things behind my back, and I sat there and watched it happen in my face and waited for them to see if they would tell me. And they didn't tell me, and I confronted them about it. And their excuse was, well, why would I tell you when you're going to still deal with the person anyway? And I'm like, wow, you didn't even leave that for me to decide what I wanted to do. Like, I'm testing your loyalty, you don't even know. But end up forgiving them in the long run. But still keeping them, like you said, still keeping them at a pace where you're just like, in this scenario, I don't know if I could fully trust you.
In Jamaica, we call it arm's length.
Yeah, keeping them at arm's length, but you still can be cool with them and cordial or whatever. I've never betrayed anyone, honestly, because like I said, I grew up as an only child, and I always tried to, friendships was all I had. And I valued them so much, and even if I messed up, I still try to just be real about it and be like, I messed up, you know what I mean? So I've never betrayed anybody because I always took friendships so serious. But to the betrayal that happened to me, I never had anything major. It was only the little stuff in our younger days, you know? And then the new people in my life, I don't really let people in that much for them to even have room to really hurt me like that.
Cool. I've had a few, because like I said, growing up, I was the type of person where I had friends where it was like, if I had, we call it bulla, you know, the little bulla them, that's what we call it, bulla, the little cakes. If it's one of those, I'll cut that in half.
Yeah,
I'll get a cup
piece,
with my little bug juice, and 2 cups we're drinking the bug juice together.
Right.
That's how I was raised. That's how I believe in. When I moved here, I had a friend that he went through some stuff. He was on house arrest, and he was in my bed, and I was sleeping on the floor just to make him comfortable. That's how I saw friendships. That person betrayed me. The other person betrayed me, and it was a chain.
Back to back.
And it change you to a level where you just don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I've done stuff in friendships that's not acceptable. And I've turned around and be like, yo, I was wrong for that.
Took accountability.
That's it. And I can't change what I did, but I was wrong. If you don't forgive me, I understand. That's just me. I betrayed people in different ways, and it was like, yo, you know, I understand. I get it. I'm not going to find no excuses. Take accountability, moving forward. And that makes me feel better.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we're not perfect, right? But I've never done anything spiteful.
Yeah, that's...
Or anything egregious to hurt somebody.
Right.
Knowing that you're my friend.
Yeah.
Now, the things I did at that time were unintentional, but at the same time, I would never do them again.
Yeah.
I tried to be the best person I can be to the people around me because I believe in long-term friendships. I believe in long-term partnerships. I would do anything to maintain my friendships or my partnerships with my people. I would do anything to maintain that because you're valuable to me.
Right.
A lot of people don't value the people around them. I value them so much that I would do anything to maintain that friendship.
Yeah. People don't value themselves.
That's it.
Yeah.
So all the people around me, I would put you on to make money. I would do all these things. A lot of people, we talk about it with relationships. You get to a certain level, you start to change. Everybody changes.
Right, but in the wrong way sometimes.
Core values should never change.
Yeah.
Core values such as loyalty, respect, those things should never change.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what I think people get it messed up at. Everybody needs to change. Everybody needs to get better in life, not worse. Everybody needs to progress. What a lot of people do is you change for the worst, right? You get to a certain level, you start making a certain amount of money. Now your loyalty is different.
It's different, yeah.
So that's what I think. I think for me, like I said, I've made mistakes and I've learned from them. I will not make those mistakes again. That's why the people I'm around now, like I hate, one of my biggest pet peeves with anybody that I call a friend is having a problem with me and start moving different. And feeling like you don't have to say it to me because you know how I'm gonna react. You don't know how I'm gonna react. Because you don't, if you knew me, you knew that if you come to me and say, yo, listen, I didn't like what you did.
Yeah.
I'm able to be like, all right, what you mean?
Right.
Let's talk about it.
It's when they try to put different puzzles and try to do the most.
Right,
outside
you're out here calculating stuff in your head, come up with your own conclusions, and now you're acting different. I hate that because now I'm looking at you like you're not a real friend.
Yeah.
You know, same thing in relationships. If you're in a relationship with someone or you're dating someone and they see something and all of a sudden you're acting different now, you start to fall back like they say, you're not real for that.
That's true.
That's a fake thing to do.
Yep.
So I feel like you make mistakes in certain things, but there's certain core values that would not let you go past certain limits.
Yeah.
You know, certain mistakes you just should not make. Just as simple as that. Should I think?
I believe that too. Yeah.
So, in closing.
Y'all do some research on this friendships topic because it's a lot.
Yeah, we could go on all night about
yes,
this friendship
it's
thing.
so many. This could be forever, you know, and it's so wide range, so many different scenarios, and I just think that take accountability, dissect situations, know who you're dealing with, pay attention to those flags that are not waving the right way, and yeah.
My advice is learn how to communicate.
That too.
That's number one. You gotta learn how to communicate with the people around you. Core value, if you don't have core values within yourself, like you said, you have to be loyal to yourself. So your core values will let you go about different situations differently. So your core values such as loyalty, such as compassion, things like those will allow you to have long-standing friendships and relationships. Because those core values should not ever change. That's what they're called, core.
Yeah.
So I think that in order to maintain long-term friendships and relationships, you have to also make sure you're good within yourself first. You know, because if you next thing I don't like is if you're friends with everybody, you're loyal to nobody.
Yeah.
Always remember that. If you have a friend that has a best friend and that friend has another best friend, nothing is safe.
Nothing is safe.
That's what it is. So my final advice is make sure you maintain your core values and also make sure you see those core values in those other people. And that friendship will last forever.
Yeah. So let's get into the topic of discussion, aka Stretch's Corner.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about this Gabrielle Union. You know, what do you say? Gabrielle Union says she splits all the bills.
She did an interview the other day, and she was saying that her and Dwayne Wade. So she basically said that she still worries if a movie fails or not because she has to bring in money because she and Dwayne Wade split the bills. And I hear a lot of women going off by her splitting the bill.
They got a big old house, you know?
Yeah, I feel like
they both make a lot of money.
I feel like any woman that screams equality should not be a part of this conversation. If you scream equality, do not be a part of this conversation because if you want to equality,
we're not equal anyways.
Paying half the bills shouldn't be a problem. But number two, if you're a millionaire and I'm a millionaire, what are you doing with your money?
Right.
Why you can't pay some of these bills?
Yeah.
You know, why we can't build together?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like you building a house outside. I'm just like.
And I'm sitting on all this bread.
And I'm just sitting there, and you're just sweating, and you're doing all of this, and I'm just watching you build this house, and I'm about to go living right now. Right. Like it doesn't make any sense.
And sometimes 50-50 doesn't mean 50-50 money.
Right.
50-50 sometimes mean I might pay the bills and you take care of the house. That's still 50-50. You know what I'm saying? I think some people look at it like financially.
Right.
So Gabrielle Union may not even take care of the house. She hires maids to do the work.
Right.
And Dwayne Wade, he don't take care of the house. They hire maids to do it.
Right.
They both go to work. They both make sure the house is good, the kids are good, the family's good. You know? And I think people look at it like my money is my money and your money is your money. Once you get married or in a relationship and you're locked in,
comes together.
you know, it's our money now.
Yeah.
So if you still want a case where it's my money and your money, get a joint account and then y'all put money in that.
In that, right. And that goes towards things.
Right. I feel like that's what destroys a lot of relationships because y'all don't have these conversations before you get married, before you get into a relationship. What are your thoughts on splitting bills? What are your thoughts on, you know, us having shared accounts or shared investments? What are your thoughts on these things? You have to get these things ironed out before you start any relationship.
Yeah.
You know, because you might believe in a man is supposed to pay all the bills and I'm supposed to be home and do nothing. And I am the person who's not okay with that. You know, so you have to have all of these financial conversations has to be had when you're dating.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have good spending habits, if your credit is not good and you're not trying to make it better, if you don't have ambition, if you don't have drive, we can't be together.
Because people don't think about when shit hits the fan, right? When health is now compromised, something happens to where this person can no longer physically make the money no more.
Right.
What is it that you were doing this whole time? You know? And yeah, a woman can work and the man will say, listen, put that here, don't touch it. You know, put your money here. That's for us when emergency happens. I'll take care of everything. But still, that money is still going somewhere for both of you, you know? People don't think about that.
What you said was important. So let's say you want to be with a man that's paying all the bills. And if something happens to this man, we both are going to be hungry.
Right.
Because you don't know how to go out there and get it.
Right.
You're only used to sitting being pretty and doing nothing. To me, that's not progressive.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think that either.
I don't think it is. Because yes, a man is supposed to provide.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But providing don't always mean just money.
Yeah.
Providing means you're providing a stable home, a loving home. You're providing an environment where mommy loves daddy and daddy loves mommy.
Yeah, it's mental, it's emotional, it's all that stuff.
You're providing way more than finances.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of women are looking at it like a man is supposed to do, and their do means money.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of relationships don't last.
Yeah. Yeah.
And every woman that has a big problem with them splitting the bills, most of them are single.
That's true.
Majority of them are single.
I could say that my successful relationship that I have living with my daughter's dad, that I never had that. Money was never an issue. Like, it's just pick up the slack, you know? And we have our agreements and pick up the slack. We gotta live here. We have to both
It's
live.
a partnership.
Yeah, it's a partnership.
So whether it's 50-50, 70-30, 60-40, whatever needs to be done, just do it.
And men goes wrong when they meet a woman that doesn't have any drive, doesn't know how to, because a real feminine woman can make money however, you know, but they pick up some women that don't even have that level of, that is not an asset to them.
Right.
And they marry them.
Listen, I don't have a problem with a stay-home mom.
Right.
I don't have a problem taking care of the house. She take care of the bills and everything, and she takes care of the house.
Right.
Because that's also valuable.
Right.
That's also something of value. If you making sure the kids are good, the house is good, the bills are paid, you know, food is on the table. I like a man to trust his wife by coming home on Fridays and giving her the full check, and she does with it what's supposed to be done. You know, I'm okay with that because that's also something of value. That's also your 50% that you're putting in. But a lot of women, they're not putting this 50% in with effort and doing things for the house and everything.
Yeah, they're just trying to go get their nails done and look cute. And
right, exactly. So now you're going to die single because you don't know what value is. Your value is in money.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Makes sense.
Yes, and the quote of the day.
Yeah, so my thing died. So.
The quote of the day. A true friend accepts who you are, but also helps you become who you should be.
That just goes back to when you talk about Raj, you know? Like, he's gonna still call you out of your
Pronounce
shit.
my name properly, please.
Raj.
Thank you.
Raj, he knows all love. Raj. It goes back to what you were saying earlier about him still saying, okay, I get what you're saying, but where did you go wrong? You know, like, still making you see the bigger picture of this situation so that you can solve it better, you can move on more in a healthy way.
I see it different. I see this quote different. Hold on.
Really? Let me see it again.
It's a true friend accepts who you are, but helps you become who you should be. So a lot of times, some females might have some whole ass friends, and she accept that whole ass friend for who she is. You know, it's an acceptance thing. I accept you for who you are. I'm okay with it. You're a killer, for instance, and I know that. I accept you for who you are, right? A lot of people, you bring certain people in your life, you know who they are, but you don't really accept them. You don't really, you know, you're not comfortable with the life that they live. You know, I understand that I might have some hoe ass friends, but that's their life.
Yeah.
Live your life, my friend, and I'm okay with that. I don't have to do it with you,
Right.
and they're also okay with me not doing it with them.
Yeah, right.
You know? The other part of the quote now, help you become who you need to be. There's people in your life that helps to push you forward.
Right.
With little things, with encouragement, with having faith in you, believing in you. You know, all these things helps to push you forward. Advice, you know, helping you out with things that needs to get done. They help to push you forward.
Right.
You know, you need people like that around you.
Oh yeah.
If you don't have people
Big
around
deal.
you that makes you better, you're around the wrong group. Like they always say, if you can't learn from your circle, then you're in the wrong circle.
Yeah.
So that's what I think about this quote. Whereas accepting a person for who they are, that's number one thing you have to do. Accept everything about them, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent.
That's like when you tell a friend, which they say don't tell you. People don't even talk about your plans, your business plans and stuff like that. But if you confide in a friend and say, hey, I got this idea to do this. And they say,
we're gonna go on without it.
yeah, it's okay. I got this idea to do this, and they're like, I don't know if that's something that you should, you know. Instead of saying, yeah, go for it, you know, do it. And a lot of friends, some friends, you'll see the friends that will kind of discourage you sometimes because sometimes it's jealousy.
Sometimes they don't understand.
And sometimes they don't understand.
Right.
You know.
If my friend decides you want to start a car company, I'm not gonna be like, yo, that's hard. You know,
Don't do
you
it,
should
right.
No, like I feel like you can't discourage your friend.
You're right. Don't
It might
do
seem
that.
hard as hell, but tell them, listen, it's hard, but I'm here with you.
Right.
I'll have your back. You know, whatever you need help with, I got you.
Right.
Let me help to push you forward.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's the type of people that you need around you.
Yeah.
The people you're gonna learn from, people you're gonna do things with, the people who are gonna help you.
And that's gonna help push.
Yes.
You know.
And we've come to the end.
Yes. So
Like I said, this topic could go on forever because I do believe deeply in friendships. I do believe deeply in loyalty. I do believe deeply
respect.
in all of it.
What?
I believe very deeply in having people around you that make you better, that make your life better, people you could confide in, people who are gonna go to war for you if they have to, people who have your back genuinely without anything being involved. Because a lot of times I feel like if there's not something beneficial attached to the friendship, it'll fail. If there's not any money attached to the friendship, it'll fail. If there's not any food or any material things attached, that friendship does not exist.
Right.
There's some people you only hear from when they want something.
Yeah.
So I deeply believe that genuine friendships are needed.
And do check-ins. Because another thing I wanted to say too was that I have friends that, like I had a friend, oh my God, that went to prison for 7 years. And I would dream about her all the time.
She's a lesbian now.
No, actually she did come out as a lesbian. But she just had a baby. But listen, Raj. But our bond never left after all those years. And even to this day, I could still call her and I could go see her for a whole day. I could spend a weekend with her and it's gonna be just like love. Because when she came out, from 7 years, I had a kid, so much change, you know?
So did you talk to her while she was in there?
I didn't, and I felt bad. Listen, hold on. I didn't. I felt really bad, and I remember crying about it. I told her sister, and when she came out, she said, "I'm actually glad you didn't confide in me because the first year of me being in there, I had to exit the world out and live in this."
Mm-hmm. Because that's her new life.
That was her new life. She was like, she didn't want to talk to family and friends and stuff like that anymore because she had to learn how to survive there. And it was all love when she came back home.
That's strong though, because I'm gonna be mad at all y'all.
Man, listen, I was like, she's gonna hate me forever.
I'll be mad at all y'all.
And she did it. She embraced, and she even said to me, if you would have gotten married and I wasn't able to be a bridesmaid in your wedding, I would have been so upset. And that showed me that our bond was tighter than what I even thought it was. Because for you to even say that to me.
Yeah, I'm coming to, my friends, I'm coming to see you every week, every month.
Man, so what happened was she went in when we were really young. And that was when you don't really have transportation. You don't got money, you don't got that, you know?
True. Yeah.
It was different, and then life just, after 3-4 years, life starts to life.
If we're that close, I'm gonna try to come see you as often as I can.
Yeah.
You know.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I wrote in my journal and everything, and I felt so bad. And I was like, she's not gonna be my friend, but she was still my friend. And then it goes to even just having friends that move away. Real friendship is something that they can go miles and miles away. Y'all don't have to talk for years, but then when y'all reconnect, it's still there.
The same love. Yeah, the same love.
Still there, and I love that.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have to talk to a person every day to still be friends with them or still be cool. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you don't talk for like a week or two or a couple months, but y'all still
because you grown and you understand life just be lifing.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a friend right now. We have the same last name and everything, and people actually think we're actual brothers.
Yeah.
And we don't talk every day, but we just I know his parents, he knows mine.
Right,
his house,
exactly.
Comes to mine. We go
just like that still.
Yeah, and we still gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's like that family member that moves away and never talks to anybody, but you're still family.
Yeah, I love my friends. I got some of the best friends in the world.
Right. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, and comment. You know, let us know what you thought about it. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know y'all stories with friendships, you know. And if y'all have any questions, also let us know on Instagram, you know.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Instagram, YouTube,
all
Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Let us know, man.
Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in. This was an amazing episode. We love you guys so much. And we're out. Bye.